Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barbies and Kens, Chelseas of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast. I'm your host, John, and with me I have my wonderful co-host. He's an all-powerful magical statue who sometimes like to hula. Oh yeah, Jay.
Yeah, you know me, just hula all day.
Hula, hula, hula. For those of you just joining us, we are a podcast about Barbie movies. Every week, we watch one of the straight to DVD animated Barbie movies and narrated story, characters, animation, voice acting, and music to see how it stacks up. This week, we'll be talking about the 38th animated Barbie movie, Barbie and Chelsea, The Lost Birthday.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You know, the lost birthday part had a much more normal explanation than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get into it, but they introduced, like, the first thing is, like, oh, the mom's in charge of the, like, technology on this cruise ship, and there's a glitch in the system. And I was like, oh, is that gonna be, you know, the cruise ship skips a day ahead?
Yeah.
Nope, it's just they crossed the international date line.
Yeah, I guess that's something you don't really think about. I was looking at the title. It's like, how do you lose a birthday?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I guess that somewhat makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of birthdays, how relevant, you know? We
Yeah.
watched a birthday film, and it's also my own birthday.
Yeah. I weren't even thinking of that.
No, it
Lining
just
up
happened.
there.
Yeah, I didn't lose mine,
Not at least yet.
unlike Chelsea. But hey,
Yeah.
here we are.
You're keeping better track of it than she was.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care. You know, I've lived a quarter of a century. I can buy a stick of gum if I was like in the 60s or something. So yeah, this is a film.
Yeah, it was released April 16, 2021, which I was just thinking of this because that was around the time that I graduated, and you just recently graduated. So
From
there's
university,
another,
for
yeah,
those
from
wondering. Yeah.
university. So another connection this movie is
Wow.
drawing.
We're connected, you
Yeah,
and I,
yeah.
in more
Almost
ways
like
than
we
one.
do a podcast together.
I wonder why.
But yeah, this was directed by Cassie Simmons, also known as Cassandra McKay. And she's been doing these Barbie movies for a while as an editor. She started out on Mermaidia and worked on a ton of the other Barbie movies in between now and then. And now she's moving up to directing, kind of like, oh, what's his name
The
from?
other guy.
Yeah, the other guy who did Magic of Pegasus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him.
Yeah, and before this, she actually directed a few episodes of Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures. And since then, she's also directed for Barbie It Takes Two,
Ooh.
which, yeah, I haven't seen that one. I've seen a couple episodes of Dreamhouse, well, a couple, 1.5 seasons of Dreamhouse Adventures, but
Yeah, a couple.
well, we'll get into it because it is relevant to this movie. But yeah, it was written by Ann Austin and Nate Fetterman. We talked a bit about Ann Austin yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. She did the writing for Princess Adventure and also a lot of the sort of show running or writing duties for
Mm-hmm.
Dreamhouse Adventures. Nate Fetterman, he is a TV writer. He worked on a bunch of comedies like The Office and then also Star versus the Forces of Evil. So pretty decent resume. And we have production design again by Meisha Moore, and the original song and the score this time around are by the Math Club, who we've talked about them before. They're a company that does music for movies and television and commercials and the like.
Mm-hmm.
And they've, of course, worked on other Barbie movies, quite a few of them recently. And yeah, the story follows the Roberts family. This is once again tying into the Dreamhouse Adventures TV show.
Correct.
Which, yeah,
We don't have the large cast like the last one, but we have our central characters.
This is much. The episodes of Dreamhouse Adventures that I've seen are mainly focused on the family, so this felt a lot closer to that.
Okay.
And it starts out with Barbie introducing a vlog, and I was like, "Oh no," because that is my least favorite part of the show, and it's
Uh,
my least
yeah.
favorite part of the last movie.
Yeah, she jumps into a swimming pool with her phone.
Yeah, but luckily the vlog is like a tiny part and barely shows up after the first like 10
Right,
minutes.
because this is actually Chelsea's film.
Yeah, because this cruise that they're going on happens to coincide with Chelsea's birthday.
Uh-huh.
Um, and Mrs. Roberts, as we said, was on board to figure out a glitch in the system. Um,
I don't know how.
yeah, she's in the show. She's like a computer something or other. I don't think they ever define it beyond she
I don't
just
know why she's
works with
taking
computers.
charge in front of all these cruise people who work there.
I mean, I guess she's just like a consultant that they brought in and as like, hey, we have an issue with the computers. Could you fix
Or she
it?
just showed up for vacation and she's like, oh,
Well,
look
no,
at
no,
this.
because Barbie says they got free tickets, even
Well,
though
maybe
they could
so.
definitely afford tickets to this cruise.
They could. Unless you're working at the Disney Star Cruiser.
Yeah,
Nobody can afford them now.
no, that's going bye bye.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for that episode of Defunct Land.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Sidebar that I might cut out of this episode. Did
Okay.
Jenny Nicholson release a video about it?
I think she's planning to
Or was it
still.
a Twitter thread? Because I very
She's no, she
distinctly
no, she's still making it. You know, it's
okay.
her next big video.
Because I very
But
distinctly remember watching a Jenny Nicholson video about
yeah, she
Star.
did. She did release a bunch of Twitter stuff
Okay.
while she was there. But yeah, no, she's making a video. Although now I'm curious to see what her thoughts are, because
Yeah.
they might have to wait till much longer
Well, no,
for it
because
to close.
I specifically remember like watching stuff and hearing her commentary on it. So it must have been a Twitter thread that I was reading through because I could not find the video.
Well, it's in the editing process.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the cruise ship. Chelsea and her sisters are trying to find a spot to celebrate Chelsea's birthday, but
Mm.
the activities director Don, who hates children, he
And
keeps
hates
showing up.
working apparently.
Yes, no, he is not suited for his job. But I I I, I thought he was fun, regardless. But
I
yeah,
was just like, why did you get hired? Why are you still here? Just quit.
yeah,
Like, are you in it for the money or what are you doing? You're sabotaging the whole production.
yeah, and he keeps showing up to tell Chelsea that she's too young for the various activities like the basketball trampolines and the DJ party tween and teen club.
Which is the only time he's actually doing his job.
Yes, is when he's stopping Chelsea from having fun. But
Yeah.
eventually he pawns them off on the assistant director, Arlene,
Arlene.
who swings in. She's dressed as a pirate with an eye patch and doing a fake pirate accent. And she takes pity on them and shows them to the ship's lazy river, and they have fun at the lazy river, but then Don sabotages the lazy river using one of Chelsea's stuffed animals.
Why does he do that? I don't know.
Yeah, his character motivation is a bit thin.
Yeah, he does it. He tries it again at the end of the film.
Yeah, no, it's not a one-time thing.
So
It's the glitch that Mrs. Roberts came on board to solve is that
this
he keeps
guy who just,
clogging the machine.
for whatever reason,
And not just clogging the machine, clogging it so bad that the entire pool starts to like shift its center of gravity.
yeah, as if we were in a rainstorm. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, as if the ship was like in heavy waves.
Yes. Have
But
you
no,
seen
it's
those
just the
videos?
pool.
Those are fantastic. Just really
Oh
cool.
yeah, no, those are terrifying, and I love watching them.
Yes.
But yeah, anyway, Chelsea goes to bed early, waiting for her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wake up early in the morning, and Skipper and Barbie check their phones and discover that rather than going from the 9th to the 10th, they have gone from the 9th to the 11th, and
Oh
Chelsea's birthday
no.
has been lost.
I thought it was some weird dream time travel thing that
Yeah.
happened, but
No,
no.
it's just they crossed the international date line and somehow everyone forgot. Even though I'm pretty sure cruises that cross the date line make it very clear, hey, we are crossing the date line.
Well, she went to bed before that, maybe.
Apparently everyone else did as well.
So,
I
like,
feel like
the conflict of her missing her birthday, I don't know, didn't seem like a big deal because it's still the 10th where she's from, so you could
yeah.
just say that.
I honestly think though, like when you're that young, like the day just has such a weight to it.
Hmm.
Like now that we're both a little bit older than that, it's like I didn't even celebrate my most recent birthday on the day. It was like the day after as a joint party with my grandfather. So
I kind of forgot. It's like because we had a little celebration with the grandparents, and like I
yeah.
got a gift, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you get gifts on your birthday." How did I forget that?
Yeah. But
That's
but
how
I'm sure
old
you
I
can
am.
remember like as a kid when you were turning 7, it's just like it's the biggest deal ever. So then to
Yeah,
like wake up and it's not your birthday.
has it happened before? I don't know. I don't
Not to
recall.
me. But yeah,
I
she
mean,
is she is
I don't
quite
remember the first
distraught.
4 birthdays I had, so.
Yeah. But Chelsea is very distraught by this and
Mm,
hides in a lifeboat, and her family go looking for her, but then while she's in this lifeboat, a talking parrot shows up and tells
yeah,
Chelsea about a mysterious rock hidden on this island that can grant her wish.
that's where this film gets weird, and I start
Indeed.
questioning a lot.
So yeah, Chelsea goes on this adventure.
She zip lines to the island,
Yes.
and when that happened, I was like, "How did she do that? Like, where did she zip line from? The boat?"
Yeah, just the boat has a zip line to the island, which I mean the boat is sort of docked offshore.
But still, like zip lines, that's not good OSHA requirements.
No, John, this is international waters. OSHA can't find us here.
Ah, I get that. Okay, that
But yeah,
makes sense.
Chelsea goes it to this island to go on this big adventure to get her birthday back. And along the way, it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz thing where she's
Mm,
meeting different characters. There's an elephant who wants to find her parents. There's a giraffe who wants to be helpful, a monkey who wants to play games, and then a tiger who wants people to appreciate her music, as tigers are known for.
yes, all of them, of course, being parallels to her own sisters.
Yes, yes, which we will get into in a bit. And
Hmm.
they also stumble on this evil Tiki statue who threatens to destroy the entire island since they woke him up.
Uh,
But
it
Chelsea
was
is able
yeah.
to trick the statue multiple times and avoid the island's destruction.
Hmm.
And yeah, meanwhile, while this is all happening, Barbie, Skipper, and Stacy go out to this island to try and look for Chelsea, and are looking everywhere, and they have their own adventure and frolic through poisonous flowers, not realizing that they're poison flowers,
Hmm.
like poison ivy type thing, not like
This is a fabricated island with all
yeah.
these death traps, apparently.
I this is apparently like a fake island, not a real island, but
With a
I don't
quicksand
know.
trap, poison
Yeah.
flowers, seagulls that try to eat you.
No, the guy was like, no, it would be too dangerous to have a real island, but the fake island is so incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Maybe in this universe, like that is the like a little bit of quicksand is just like to be expected.
No, I just love how quicksand is such a cartoony trope.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
when you're kids, all we have is like quicksands on TV, and we keep thinking, "Oh my gosh, I hope I never run into quicksand." Like
yeah.
that's just a random fear. It's like, "Oh, I don't know, I hope I don't get into quicksand," but then we never do because where's the quicksand?
I mean, I've gotten into like mud where you sink,
Well,
but that's like
mud.
yeah, it's just like you go a little bit and then you stop or you realize that you just like pick your feet up and move to
Hmm.
a different spot.
Lose your shoe. Yeah.
Yeah, you could lose your shoe. That is probably the biggest danger. Now, I do know that quicksand can be like quicker than that mud.
It can be quicker.
Yep.
Hence the name. Uh, is your
Yeah.
sand too slow? Get some quicker sand.
Anyway, after all of their things,
Mhm.
Chelsea and her animal companions finally reach the magic rock, which is shaped like a birthday cake.
Mm.
But they find out that it can only grant one wish. So Chelsea is like, "Hey, Kelsey the elephant,
The
your wish
orphan.
is the most important one. So why don't you wish for your parents back?" And then suddenly her parents appear without her making the wish and invite everyone to their home so that now the monkey has people to play with and the tiger can play her music. And then the giraffe is like, "Oh, I helped everyone, so I got my wish." So that means Chelsea can make her wish.
A better way of doing that would just be to have Chelsea wish that everybody gets their wish.
Yeah, that was my initial thought. And given her clever solutions to certain other problems, I'm surprised they didn't go that way.
It's like,
Because
oh, let me
that
just,
would
yeah.
make because Kelsey's parents show up out of nowhere anyway.
I didn't even catch on that she was missing parents or anything. And so it's like, you know what to do. Give it to the elephant. And it's like, what?
But yeah, meanwhile, Barbie and Skipper and Stacy meet with Arlene, who's on the
Mm,
island, and Arlene is like, Chelsea never left the boat. Like she's smart enough to know not to do that. So maybe you need to look somewhere else for her than this very dangerous, apparently very safe island.
sure.
And so Chelsea wakes up and she's still hiding in the lifeboat.
Hmm.
Barbie, Skipper, and Stacy find her.
What?
And
It
then
was a dream?
yeah,
You
but
mean she wasn't talking to animals and hopping on alligators?
okay, you can hop on alligators technically. Have you seen the famous James Bond clip?
Yes.
Have you seen the making of that?
No, but I've seen the film.
Yeah, the making of is terrifying because it's all of the failed attempts of this guy trying to run across crocodiles and like the
Oh,
times where he didn't make it all the way and then the crocodiles are like snapping at him. Yeah, it's they don't make movies that way anymore for a very good reason.
well, I gotta look this up.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, I'll finish up the plot description. Because now that everything has been solved, they need to deal with Don. So Chelsea sees him putting a stuffed toy in the pool system or something to back it all up, and then she exposes him, and the captain happens to be there, so he gets fired and taken to the brig.
Yeah,
So
they have Briggs on ships.
yeah. And then Chelsea finally gets to celebrate her birthday, even though it's not actually her birthday.
Well, it is, just in a different time zone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because technically, she already had her birthday when it wasn't her birthday.
Yep. did
Yep.
they did they cross like right at midnight
I
so
don't
that
know.
so that she wouldn't have a birthday, or did
She
was
was
her birthday
asleep
like 2
when it
hours
was
long?
daylight, so I don't know.
Yeah, the story
It just
is
seems like a very extended episode of a show.
yeah, I think that's fair. And having seen 1.5 seasons of Dreamhouse Adventures, which is a show that I was just telling John, I don't like it. but I'm not hate watching it. I'm just kind of ambivalent watching it.
Right.
Like, just kind of, I'm bored and I don't have anything else to do. "Oh, I'll throw on an episode." And I'm like, oh, that was mediocre.
Let's watch another one.
Yeah. So this movie is much better than the show.
Probably, because specials usually are.
Yeah. It's it's got a more robust plot than I was thinking it would, given
Yeah.
that it's titled Barbie and Chelsea the Lost Birthday.
It's just a clone of a Wizard of Oz
Yeah,
scenario.
there's some Alice in Wonderland thrown in there.
Yeah.
And both of those are similar because they're adventures that use like dream logic and symbolic representations of characters. Um
How long did it take you to figure out it was a dream?
um Not long. Like once the elephant showed up and it was like her stuffed elephant, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a dream of
Yeah.
some sort.
Yeah, definitely by then. Although the talking parrot doesn't.
Yeah, the talking parrot, since it's the same voice as Arlene, I was like, okay, there's something.
Is it?
I thought at
Okay.
first it was like a fantasy that Arlene was concocting. But then once the elephant showed up, I'm like, okay, this is a
Although Arlene is pretty knowing about some things, I guess.
yeah. We'll have to get into this. But yeah, I do like that because the whole "it was all a dream" twist can be a little bit cheap sometimes, but I do think it works here
Yeah.
because it's sort of like Chelsea has this event which for her is very devastating. And this is her way of sort of processing.
Plus, it's not really much of a plot twist in the story itself.
I think it's designed to be like if you were a really young kid, I think it's more of a twist.
Okay.
And for me, I was trying to figure out if it was like a dream or a fantasy.
But they never
Because
quite overplayed it, which
yeah,
is really
yeah.
nice.
Because yeah, it is like when Skipper and Barbie and all of them go onto the island, it's like, oh, this looks like the island that Chelsea is on, just like not nearly as fantastical. So it could be, Chelsea's wandering on the island and not hallucinating, but making it all up in her head.
Perhaps, yeah. She found the giant flower.
Yeah. Which then it's like I was like, "Oh, how did she get the flowers?" But then they show the DJ again and it's the DJ.
Mm,
That's where she got the flower from.
okay.
Cuz the DJ's hat or mask is the same as the flowers. Cuz that was the one thing where I was like, "Wait a second, she has to be on the island because of these flowers." But no, that's just a connection.
What a weird flower.
Yeah. It was all of those different connections worked for me.
Mm,
The sort of like even the connections of the characters, like all of the animals being her sisters, even though sometimes it's a little bit shaky how they relate.
Tiger wants to be a musician.
Yep. I think the one, because it's like a lot of them are revealing a deeper thing about the characters, but then Stacy and Lacey the monkey
Hmm.
are just like, oh yeah, Stacy always wants to play games and the monkey always wants to play games. There's nothing, no deeper desire. Whereas with Kelsey the elephant, which we'll get into, I think, later,
Sure.
she's this sort of expression of Chelsea's deeper desire of being with her family.
Right.
Because that's sort of her deep down, her desire is to be with her family.
Hmm.
And that's never acknowledged, at least in the first part of the movie. So then you have this character, and then like the Skipper stuff is also with the tiger, who simultaneously wants to be seen as a musician but doesn't want to be rejected, and that's a very like teenager thing.
Sure.
And so I thought that was a clever more clever than the Stacy Lacey. I want to play games with friends. Okay, that's how complex of you.
Want to play diverse sports?
Yes, like yeah, just random combination sports.
Mm.
Yeah, and I did think like the B plot of Barbie, Skipper, and Stacy. Like when they cut back, that was always a nice little respite from the fantasy world.
Although I didn't feel like they needed that.
Oh no, definitely not.
Because like
If this
by
was,
that point, like you figure out it's like, oh, they're not on the same island, and so
yeah.
really nothing's being done. It's just
Although, you see, here's the thing: I didn't know they weren't on the same island. I knew that it was some kind of fantasy or dream, but I
mm,
assumed that Chelsea was on the island up until they're like, well, at a certain point, I was like, okay, she's back in the lifeboat.
right.
But
So yeah, so the cutbacks to the other girls, I was like, yeah, okay, we don't need to see them.
I think they
This
had
is
some fun
Chelsea's
stuff.
film. Barbie, get out of here.
The oatmeal plotline was fun.
Why does she have oatmeal in a thermos? I don't
She's
know.
Barbie. She has everything.
Yeah, but why does she have oatmeal in a thermos? Who carries around their oatmeal?
I was just watching an episode of Dreamhouse Adventures, and she brought a sweater to the beach in her swimsuit somewhere. Like she just pulls it out.
Okay, but that's not oatmeal in a thermos.
Well, where else are you going to keep oatmeal?
In your stomach, because you eat it. You don't put it in a thermos and eat it later.
Uh, yeah. The speaking of the oatmeal thing, the humor in this movie is just all over the place.
Sure.
Like it's full of like random cutaway gags or like
Mm.
characters just acting absolutely insane. Like what what was this? I forget the order of events, but Barbie and everyone else arrive on this island and they're talking to the guide, and the guide's saying something about, oh, there might be vampires on this island. And then they're like, oh, really? And he's like, nah, I was just making that up. Vampires don't exist. And then they leave, and then he turns around, and there's a guy, a very pale guy, under a bunch of umbrellas with a little bat floating around him, who goes, do you happen to have any sunscreen? SPF 1 million! Ah, ah, ah.
Yes.
Just like, what?
Yeah, that's such a random joke. That's a
Yeah.
life in the dream house kind
Oh,
of joke.
yeah. Yeah, it's full of, like, Life of the Dream House, or even, like, Fairy Secret had a bit of that,
Mm,
where it's just like,
mm-hmm,
here is something absolutely insane
mm-hmm.
that does not make any sense, but we're just going with it. It was it was fun. I had fun with it.
Sure.
So yeah, I gave the story overall 3.75 out of 5. It's better than average, I think. I think there's more going on, but it's still Barbie and Chelsea the Lost Birthday. Like
Sure.
there's only so good that Barbie and Chelsea the Lost Birthday can be.
Yeah, there's only so good, which is why I gave it a 3. It's fine.
This is the Barbie equivalent of an Inception movie.
Yeah, I don't even consider it much of a film. It's just an hour long.
Yeah,
It's pretty much
that
just a special episode.
yeah, that is something I appreciated, was it wasn't too long.
Hmm.
Like if they had another 10 minutes, it would have been just too much. But yeah, anyway, on to the characters.
Characters.
This is one of the rare Barbie movies where Barbie isn't the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
We have Chelsea, who, she's interesting. She's more mischievous than the average Barbie protagonist. Especially like there was some early on, some like trickery that she would do to get her way. But like the thing she does with the statue of like, hey, we're gonna do a cannonball contest. Whoever gets the biggest splash wins. Statue jumps in, cannonball, and then the animals are like, Chelsea, you aren't going to be able to make a bigger splash than that. And she's like, I don't need to. And then the statue just kind of floats down the river, and so they can go past.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a very like, it almost felt like this is a really going back in time for a reference. The Odyssey with Odysseus, his ways of getting out of situations that are just like,
Yes. Chelsea, the Lost Birthday, in the Odyssey.
okay, but there are connections.
I'm
There are
sure there
connections
is.
through they're via Alice in Wonderland
Uh
and
huh.
Wizard of Oz, but there
Hmm.
are some like similarities there into how Chelsea acts, which I think the last time that kind of stuff stood out to me was Magic of Pegasus.
Mm.
Here it's like not quite as good as in Magic of Pegasus, but it is I did still find it interesting. And then yeah, the animal version of Chelsea is Kelsey the elephant,
Mm.
who what once you figure out that like Kelsey is the expression of like Chelsea's deep desire to be with her family, then she's a little bit more interesting. But she is just kind of there.
She's just the elephant with the same
Yeah.
name.
Almost the same name.
Almost the same name.
You see, here's the thing. When they introduced the elephant Kelsey, I was like, oh, that sounds a lot like Chelsea. I wonder why they went with that name. And then when I realized, oh, all of the animals are the sisters, then I was like, okay, that makes more sense. But yeah, did you have any thoughts on Chelsea?
Um, no,
No.
I don't have much thoughts about these characters. They're there. They're fine.
Yeah, here's the thing I'm wondering because you haven't seen Dreamhouse Adventures, and I've
I've
seen a
not.
season and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and these are the same characters they're carrying through. Even the voices are carrying through.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering if the having watched the show is giving me a different perspective
probably.
on this, and maybe a bit. I'm having more thoughts on it because I know a bit more about these characters.
Yeah. Plus, like for me, it's been a while, and I'm kind of like, we're at the end here,
Yeah, we're getting near the end.
getting near the end. Just want to be done with it. Like, how am I excited for this film? It's a lost birthday.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The other characters we have here, we have the other sisters, Barbie, who's again she's in the older sister role.
Yeah.
That's kind of what she does. But then we have Darby the giraffe, who kind of adds a bit to that. Who Darby is a giraffe who always wants to help and is sometimes unable to help. And
Mm-hmm.
that's actually a thread they pull from the show, because the show that will often have like a plot where Barbie is worried about one of her sisters, but then needs to learn to like step back and let the sister do it for herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a through line with the show. It's no way near as profound as the arc in Puppy Chase, which is the sentence I just said. But I stand by it.
Yeah.
Still the most interesting thing to happen to the Barbie protagonist. Any thoughts on Barbie?
No, she took a backseat this film.
Yeah. Next.
Although I don't know why the giraffe had the blonde hair.
Yeah. That was yeah.
I kept looking at that. It's like there's something on your head. And I was like, oh wait, that's just your hair.
Yeah. Next up we have Skipper and the monkey Snipper.
Mm.
And like I said before, there isn't much. Oh no, never mind. Skipper is different than Stacy. Why am I getting
Yes.
them mixed up? So
Yes.
there is a ton to see here because Skipper doesn't get much to do. She just kind of
Mm-hmm.
follows Barbie around. But then Snipper has this sort of this teenage angst thing that I think the interesting thing is it's not in the dream, it's Chelsea's understanding of Skipper
Mm-hmm.
rather than just like this is Skipper. It's like filtered through Chelsea's viewpoint. So I thought that was a bit interesting to think about,
Okay.
and also kind of a not a terrible lesson for like kids to be like, hey, your teenage sibling might act a bit weird. That isn't a bad thing. That's a teenager thing.
Teenager thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Skipper herself doesn't display any of those qualities in this movie because she doesn't display many qualities in this movie. So
No.
yeah. Then we have Stacy slash Lacey the monkey, who
Mm.
again only exists to follow Barbie around. But
And to be
Lacey doesn't
loud.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. Lacey doesn't reveal any deeper thing about Stacy.
No.
Yeah. Next up, we have Don, who's also the Tiki statue.
Yeah. The VeggieTale character.
Yeah, he does look so much like a VeggieTale character, the Tiki statue.
Yeah,
It's
it's just the way he moves around. It's like,
yeah, and like the eyes,
uh-huh, yeah.
very, very. I wonder if there's. I should have looked into that. If there's any crossover in like animation.
I mean, there probably is. VeggieTale animators have like gotten so much work because they're like one of the
Yeah,
early pioneers.
yeah, yeah. That would be. I should have maybe looked into that. Bit late now, but
Bit late.
anyway, Don himself, he's a very simple villain,
Uh-huh.
but I think he serves the function of villain well. Like he doesn't
Sure.
have any deeper motivations, but he doesn't need motivation. He just hates kids, hates his job.
Causes conflicts.
Yeah. He is like surprisingly funny, not intentionally so, but like the way we'll talk about the vocal performance later, but a
Sure.
lot of the line deliveries he does, and then just like the way he's animated, the way he rides around on a Segway is just kind of funny.
Hmm.
And even though he's like an exaggerated example of a villain, like the form of his villainy feels like something you might actually see in real life. Like I feel like everyone's had that at some point where like the teacher or the camp counselor or someone who very clearly does not want to be there and does not like working with children.
It's probably you. You're the villain of this
Yeah,
film.
you see this is why I would never work with kids, because I'm like I know myself and I don't like kids. And I would rather not make their lives miserable by being
That's
a camp counselor.
mm-hmm.
I would rather just stay in my lane,
So
do
you'd
my
sabotage the place just to get fired.
yes.
Okay.
No, I would not sabotage the place just to get fired, but I would be riding around on a Segway,
Yeah.
being like,
Because you want to get
I
your
hate
severance
kids.
pay. Yeah.
Yes, I think Don has a lot of years before he gets severance.
Wow. Sure.
Needs a nice golden parachute to retire with.
Mm. Why a parachute?
Oh, that's a term for like when a higher up at a company gets like a huge big amount of money when they leave the company.
They jump off the building with a parachute?
A golden parachute. It's the idea, yeah, basically they're like, oh, this guy left the company but he also got $9 million.
What a shame.
Anyway, Don is also in the dream world. He's the Tiki statue,
Mm.
who's basically just a villain.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the interesting thing about him is that his power doesn't actually come from him. because he's not like, I am this all, well, he says he's an all-powerful statue, but he can't really do much besides walk around.
I mean, he somewhat caused the volcano to erupt.
Yes. Well, that's the thing, is the power he has is all separated from him. It's the volcano that's the actual threat. He's just the
Instigator.
he's the middle person.
Uh,
So that kind of fits Don's role on the ship, is like, yeah, he's being mean, but he doesn't actually have any power. But yeah, that isn't anything the movie explores.
mm-hmm.
It's there, but it's just like off to the side.
Right.
Now, next up, and really the only other major character, is, of course, Arlene.
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 Arlene,
And she is wonderful.
I guess.
She swings into the movie and the energy immediately goes through the roof.
I guess, yeah. She's very energetic.
Yeah.
She's a
No, it's
pirate.
like she is exactly the person you want working with kids, because she's just having a blast.
Yeah, I guess.
She's the polar opposite of Dodd, because she loves her job and loves kids and is like, I want to
I'm
make these
gonna
kids.
bend the rules.
Yes.
Yeah. Watch me swing on this thing on a
No, it's so,
boat.
yeah, it's so much fun. She's just like living out her pirate dreams on this cruise ship
Yeah.
with her pink hair and her eye patch and her little
Fake parrot.
fake parrot, which I thought was I didn't clock that it was a fake parrot until the end.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
when the parrot showed up in the boat, I was like, oh, it's Arlene's parrot, not, wait a second. But yeah, as the parrot, like, she's not doing much. She's just like, hey,
Yeah.
here's the island. Goodbye.
Shows up and's like, haha. Can't tell you nothing. Bye-bye.
But then, yeah, Arlene herself seems to know things that the parrot knows,
Uh-huh.
which is like this weird connection. And I think it's mainly just a twist to get you like believing that the dream is actually happening.
Reveals her true motive. She poisons kids. Lets them hallucinate things in boats.
I mean,
Tells her family, like, go to the island. Har har.
I mean, I wouldn't have been. It might have been cool if, like, the reveal was not Arlene tells Barbie at all, like, no, Chelsea's on the boat, but instead, like, they find Arlene and she's playing with Chelsea with like the stuffed animals, and they're like having a game together.
Wow. Okay.
So just an idea to throw out there. I think
Just
the dream
an
idea,
idea.
the dream thing works, but that might be
Yeah. Let's go on a trip.
in our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky.
Yeah, so I give the characters a 3.3. There's not much that I have to say about them. I think you
Yeah.
found them much more interesting than I did.
Yeah, I gave them a 3.75. Same as the story. I don't think either is like a 4 level, but I don't think either is like a 3.5 level either for me. I don't know. I found the connections between the dream characters and the actual real life characters to be interesting. And then I thought Don was fun as the villain. He's not complex, but he's fun. And then Arlene just is like she's just a point in and of herself,
Mm.
because she just brings up the energy anytime she's on screen. So yeah, next up we have animation,
Animation.
which the quality is once again a bit wonky. Like, I noticed a lot of issues with like the character models and the environments not fully interacting together well.
But the lighting was alright.
The lighting was all right. Yeah. I think the bigger
Uh,
thing for me. Oh, go ahead.
no, one interesting thing to point out is that when Barbie was on the island and she pulled back her hair, she looked 10 years older than when her hair was down.
Yeah, I did not notice that.
Yeah, because that's like when she's swinging about with her hair pulled back, and it's like she kind of looks like an adult.
She- I don't know what age she's supposed to be. I think 16.
Yeah,
But
but her hair
yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah. I do think the like designs are pretty solid.
Hmm.
Like the animals looking like Chelsea's plushies at first was like, oh, that's a little bit off putting. They all have big eyes and cute features. But I think it's a nice touch that kind of clues you into what's actually going on.
I'm all about them big eyes.
Isn't that a Tim Burton movie?
What? I'm all about them big eyes.
No, just Big Eyes. It's like Amy
I
Adams and Christoph Waltz,
I don't know. Sounds like one.
2014. Yeah, it's a Tim Burton movie, I'm pretty sure. Anyway,
Okay.
the the one design I did like of the animals, or really liked of the animals, was the spiders.
I thought they looked weird.
They looked adorable.
I get that, but they look kind of weird.
You see, I don't like spiders in real life,
Yeah.
but adorable animated spiders are good with me.
Mm-hmm. Looked like plushies. I wonder if they sold any.
Exactly. Yeah. I was gonna look it up because I'm like, ooh, that would be, but I didn't. Yeah, for some reason I like fictional spiders, but not real life spiders.
Yeah. Or
Just
hybrid
unless
spiders.
it's like Shelob in Lord of the Rings.
Perfectly adorable.
No, I have the Lego Shelob, and that's actually very adorable. But the the in the movie, it's like that is a scene because I recently saw Return of the King in theaters,
Mm-hmm.
and I have seen Return of the King like dozens of times. I
Yeah.
have seen the Shelob scene maybe 5 times because I always skip it. So watching it in the theater, I was like, "Oh, this is more intense than I remember it." But no, Lego Shelob is adorable. And then there's like in Monster Hunter, there's a spider that like has webs all over it. That's super cool. Anyway, I like the spiders here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the real good thing about the animation here is the use of the camera
Mm.
and like the angles. There's a lot of interesting angles and interesting camera movements. It's something that a lot of the early Barbie movies had, but recently I haven't noticed as much.
Right.
But in this one, I was
Oh, yeah.
noticing it's more kinetic and like you have there's more energy to it.
Especially once the music video started
Yeah,
and they changed the lighting to look so cool, I guess.
yeah, yeah. It's just like that. Those are the touches that can, even if the quality isn't spectacular, those can really
Yeah.
help.
Lighting can fix a lot of problems.
Yep, lighting, camera placement, making things going for the less obvious
Mm-hmm.
choices. But yeah, I gave the animation a 3.5 out of 5 still. There's just that like quality issue for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine is a 3.8, mostly because of the lighting.
Yeah.
You know, it's where the previous few are at.
Yeah, you were telling me your scores here are very similar to previous movies.
I mean, they just reached the point where they knew what they were doing, and they didn't know how to go past that. So here we at.
Yeah, I think having seen Dreamhouse Adventures, it's a lot better than Dreamhouse Adventures, so I've enjoyed it more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm speaking of Dreamhouse Adventures. A lot of the voices here I'm very accustomed to,
Mm.
so I don't really have much to say beyond like, oh, these are like voices that I associate with these characters. Even America Young as Barbie, it's like I don't think she sounds like Barbie, but at this point I've seen 1.5 seasons of her as Barbie, so it doesn't even register as a disconnect for me.
For me, I didn't find anything spectacular, but it was there. It
Yeah.
was fine. They did their jobs, and that's what they do.
Yeah, we do have I did want to mention Greg Chun, who plays the dad here, as well as
Mm.
the dad elephant and plant guy, whoever
Okay.
that is, and an alligator. I just wanted to shout about because he plays my main in Smash Bros. Ike.
Oh,
Ike, I
nice.
fight for my friends.
Must make you super proud.
Free pizza.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
don't think I recognize anyone from the cast list.
there's a few people who have been in a lot of things. There are two people I wanted to shout out who are not in Dreamhouse Adventure, so I did notice them more. Ben Pronsky, he plays Dom and the Tiki statue,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing a pretty solid variation on a Wallace Shawn voice. To the extent that
Yeah,
one of his lines in here is inconceivable.
I wasn't getting a Wallace Shawn vibe from him, but I was getting some other familiar voice that I can't remember
Yeah.
what it was.
He's it's like a little bit of Wallace Shawn, but then once they go for the inconceivable, then it's like okay, yeah, that's kind of what they're going for, but not as like an impression, more as just like an invocation.
Okay.
And then we have Layla Berzins, who plays Arlene, and is just so much fun. Like she fully embraces the sort of goofy optimism of this role,
Mm-hmm.
and like that fake pirate voice, and just leans into everything, and every line delivery is so good. And that's a big part of why the character stands out is the voice work, and she just brings so much energy every scene she's in.
Okay. Again, I don't have much to say.
Yeah,
I give the voice acting a 3.5, which is standard.
I gave it a 4. I like the voice acting here. Yeah, finally we have music, which when it started out I was ready to give it like a 4.5 because the first song they play was just really interesting. And then as the movie went on, it like the score is very good. But I did start to notice a bit more. It feels like this was scored not the way they would usually score a movie, which is they go through the movie and they make score for those scenes, but instead the way a TV show is scored, where someone just like composes a bunch of different songs for a bunch of different moods, and then depending on the scene you just kind of have that song play, because some of the scenes the like score behind it didn't quite fit.
Hmm.
So I was kind of wondering, especially since the math club is like not a person but a company, I was wondering if rather than Mattel sending them like the finished movie and like, here, could you put music on it, I wonder if Mattel sent them like, okay, we need songs for a happy scene, a sad scene, a such and such scene, and then the music was then added over the scenes.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's just speculation as to why there was maybe a bit of a disconnect.
I thought the music was alright. Not
Yeah.
much.
The original song is good but not really memorable.
Right.
Yeah. Not much else to say about it.
Not much to say. It there.
Yeah, that is one of my issues with them relying so much on the math club is that their music is so ubiquitous that it just kind of feels very standard
Ubiquitous.
because it's everywhere. It's in
Right.
everything. It almost sometimes feels like they're pulling from a music library,
Hmm.
which I don't think they are, but I wouldn't necessarily recognize it if it was. But yeah, there's just one scene that was really. It's the scene after the first scene in the lazy river where Chelsea is going to bed. And the song they're playing is just a little too sad for the scene.
A little too sad.
In a way that makes me go, I don't know if that song was written for that scene. I wonder if it was either written as like, we need a sad song, and so they sent a sad song, or if it was taken from a music library. But anyway, I give the music a 3.8 out of 5.
What did I give it? A 3.5?
Yeah, you
That's
gave it a
fair.
3.5.
That's a fair score, I
Yeah.
guess. Which leaves me with a total score of a 17.1, which is a 68%, and a 3.4 5-star rating.
Yep, I have a score of 18.8, which is a 75% or a 3.76.
Nice.
I like this one more than Princess Adventure, more than a lot of the recent ones.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't, I don't
You've
know.
just kind of the last few have blended together.
I don't care anymore. I'm breaking up the band. You know, it's our last tour.
we're not creative differences. We don't have creative differences that often.
No, we're just getting old. Barbie's
Yeah.
getting old. We're just here for the Margot, and then we're done.
Yep. Yeah, we only have a few episodes left.
Only a few. We're
we
close.
we will be doing. We also have a few episodes of Glimpsing Greta, the series on Greta Gerwig that will also be coming out, so you can look forward to those.
I'm feeling that senioritis, you know. Just
Yep, the last little push before freedom.
before we're done with Barbie
Yeah,
and
well,
this social experiment that we've been doing for the past year.
yeah. No, we've been going at this for a while. I'm surprised we made it this far.
Yeah, we've done good.
Yeah,
We've done good.
we have.
Yeah. Speaking of good, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram, at Binging Barbie on Twitter, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. We will be back next week to talk about Barbie, Big City, Big Dreams. Bye.
Bye.